So I saw a movie today. It was called Nobody. It was a movie I wasn't really hyped to see, but a little convincing for my mom. She's like, let's go see it. I'm like, alright, let's go see it. It just seemed like a generic action movie we've already seen before. And it kinda is. I mean, it's from the people from John Wick as the producer. Um, Starring the guy from Better Call Saul, Bob Odenkirk. He does a pretty good job, by the way, as a likable character. It's not as much action as you actually think that there's in there, but there's just like a lot of cliches in there, like Russian guy's family member, you know, like at least there wasn't a CGI fest or whatever. But the highlight to me was having Christopher Lloyd, the guy from Back to the Future, be in the film. I thought he was just gonna be in there for a few minutes because he's old, and actually he's in there for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes in the movie, but still seeing him in action is actually nice for once. And you know the people messed up by going into the dude's house and trying to rob him because he's like a former special forces type guy, and he's trying to hold it back, and you know and then he just finally snapped and did his action stuff. And I would say it's a 7.2. There's a lot of generic stuff, and there was like a lot of like, oh, we're gonna play Frank Sinatra music or some 80s music record, or we're gonna play a tape or whatever. you know you know Typical like action movie stuff that we've seen a million times. I mean, the action scenes weren't really that impressive to me, except for maybe the last scenes of the movie. Um, but good performances. Um, the character Hutch, the Bob actor, he does a pretty good job. Probably the best actor in the movie, obviously. The villain is boring and generic as they come. Generic Russian guy. It's always like the Russians, the Germans, or whatever, you know. But and the kid character, his son, is kind of a dick. A lot of the other characters are kind of like dicks, in my opinion. But I would say, I guess it'd be worth watching one time, but it's not like, oh, it's not gonna blow away John Wick or a lot of these other action movies. It's just like, it's a decent one. It's okay. It's not as action packed as you think either. There's like, I think there could have been maybe 10, 15 minutes cut out of the movie, and it would have flowed a little bit better, but they tried to make it more like, they're emotional with some of the characters, which you don't really care. You just want to see the action, really. But there are some funny parts in the movie too, but it was a good action slash. It's not even comedy in there. It's just an action thriller, but there's comedy in there. But it's by Universal Pictures. It's you can wait on watching this one.